I have another shit we couldn't make up. So we're also after a hiatus due to the fact of just talking about dollars and cents here. We're
For the
able to talk
last
about baseball
99
again.
days. Yes.
But this actually stems from the agreements made in the labor dispute that is now settled at least till 2026.
Universal
What
DH.
universal DH and
We're all for it. I've written
we're
many articles about it over the years on our, when we used to just be a blog. I think
yeah
I have 2 or 3 pining for the universal DH. Everyone wants it. Only some curmudgeons, old curmudgeons that are holding on to a
uh,
bastion of an
the
old
the strategy
relic
of
game.
baseball is now ruined.
Yeah, I can't, people arguing that they wanted to see 2-out rally get snuffed out by a non-professional at the plate. It's swinging and striking out on 3 pitches. People are pining for those days because of the double switch and everything
Right.
else.
Yes, the
Fuck
double
off.
switch. Yes.
It's no longer a topic of conversation. We could have avoided this though, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could have avoided this if one jackass had cast his vote differently. The universal DH. This blew my mind. That's why it's under shit you couldn't make up. This topic has been in baseball for a long time. It dates back to you sitting down. Yes, I see you're sitting down.
I
Everyone
am
else
sitting.
sit down. 1891
Not
was the first.
1991,
No,
1891.
1891. Hundreds of years ago, it came up that baseball, the National League, they should go to a universal DH because the argument was no one really wanted to see a pitcher bat. And it lost. It lost a vote. You needed 2/3 of a vote to pass.
That's
It lost by
amazing.
one vote. It lost
That's
by one
amazing. It was
vote.
that close.
One vote. So
that would have been
the
American League didn't exist back then. So the National League would have passed it before the American League even started. And so
right.
the American League didn't get it until 1973. I always remember that because that's the year I was
Mm-hmm.
born. So my entire life has had a designated hitter in the American League at least. So I would assume if the National League had passed it 9-10 years before the American League even started, the American League would have just started with the same rules that the National League had.
Exactly.
So we never would have had pitchers batting. Would have always had the universal DH.
The question is,
the revolving doors of history.
Would the bargaining agreement have gotten done if this wasn't a talking point?
It was such a key linchpin to this deal, getting the universal DH, which is such bullshit because everybody wanted it to begin with. The owners acted like they were throwing the players a bone when they knew they could benefit from it, from the increased offense and the increased interest. And
I mean,
hilarious. And just the lack of insanity of having one game that has 2 sets of rules for some teams, which is just absurd.
But perhaps we should thank that one team, that one person who voted against it, because maybe we would still be talking this week about an unsigned deal.
I'm gonna guess it had. I'm trying to think what teams were in the were actually around in the 1890s. Were the Cardinals actually a team then, or did they start later? I'm going to blame the Cardinals. Whoever was there.
The Cardinals
at the time, yeah. I'm thinking they were probably a 130-year-old plus team. So could have been the Reds. I know the Reds were the first team. Cubs were around since the 1876. So maybe it was the Cubs. Maybe we could blame the Cubs for all this shit. We blame them for other. We blame them for many other things tonight. So
I blame the Cubs. 100%.
Word Hole Media.